Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Let's Draw Race Cars with Boris. It's Tuesday, it's noon Eastern time, and that means it's time to draw. Now, if you're like me, you're indoors, probably at your home like me, staying safe, staying healthy during this time. But if you're also like me, you like racing and you like drawing, and we're going to put them together today. Got it? Yeah, we're going to have fun. So get your pen and paper, or like me, your iPad, or maybe your phone. You know, on Instagram you can draw for free. That's a free app. So you don't need to spend a lot of money here. Maybe you have some chalk, or a marker, or a pencil, or something like that. Well, today I'm going to cross this one out here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Look at that. Let me get on the right layer first. Because we're not drawing a race car today. We're drawing something else. That's right. Let's cross out that word. Whoop, not the word draw. How about this word? Race cars. And replace it with a dirt bikes. Because did you know that Joe Gibbs Racing has a motocross team? You know, motocross, the dirt bikes that do the big jumps. Yeah, we have a team of motocross riders and, of course, people that build them. And we're going to draw that today. So today, we're going to do something a little different. Now let me just show you a picture of one of our bikes. There it is. Beautiful Suzuki motocross bike. Look at that thing. Wild looking. Can you imagine riding that thing? How fast that goes? Well, we're going to just draw it sitting on the ground right now. Maybe in a future episode we'll do one up in the air with a rider on it, because it gets a little more complicated. Okay? So, let's get ready to draw, because it's time. Alright, here we go. New piece of paper, new line. I draw a line here. I'm just getting my ground set up, getting my camera focused. There we go. Alright, I'm going to keep this picture. You know, I've never drawn a motocross bike before. Have you? I'm going to keep a little picture up there so I can reference it and see what's going on. That's a good thing for artists to do. Alright. We got to find our basic shapes in here, right? That's what we're going to start out with. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get rolling. Let's get drawing. Alright. I think we should start with a couple lines, just like a car. But today we're not going to start with a box. We're going to start with some lines here. The first line I want you to draw is over to the right a little bit, and I want you to draw a line like this. It's kind of a dash, right? Kind of a dashed line, angled. And then I want you to make a T with that line, kind of like this. Now make these light so you can erase them or draw over them. Maybe use a pencil with an eraser. That might be a good idea. If not, don't worry about it. If you can't erase, we'll incorporate this into our drawing. Trust me, it's going to work just fine. There's a lot of cool lines in these bikes. So we've got a T on its side with a really long trunk there. Look at that T. We're basically drawing the chassis of our bike right now. All right. Next, let's see here. You see this part of the T? I want you to give it a bottom, like this. There we go. So we kind of did a backwards L now, didn't we? Yeah, looking pretty good. All right. Now I want you to draw a curve from the bottom line to the middle T line, sort of like this. See that? A little bit like the letter D. There you go. It's actually where our motor and everything's going to be, in that space. Looks like a math problem now, doesn't it? But I promise, this is going to turn into a dirt bike, and it's going to be very cool. Well, I'm going to check out some of the comments, because I love seeing what you all are drawing and commenting out there. Lots of people watching. Michelle's out there. Devin's out there. There's Tyler, Patricia. Let's see here. Daniel. Charlotte. Hey, Charlotte. Thanks for watching. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's get back to some drawing here. All right. Now, you remember this line we have here? Well, that's going to be our tail. And hopefully I'm getting all the terminology right here, because my buddy John out there, he's he's our motocross guy. He taught me some things, but I'm kind of a rookie with motocross. I know just the basics. So on this tail, we want to make a sort of larger part down here, right from the bump in that engine compartment. Just follow that tail back on up, and then bring it closer and closer. And then when you get way back out there at the tip, go straight up like that. That's going to be our exhaust, part of our muffler system. I guess that's a muffler. But anyway, the exhaust. And then just draw a slice like that. Alright, does that make sense? So we went like this, and then we did a slice. Okay? There we go. Very cool. Patricia's out there in Ohio. Jack's watching. Jack, have you ever drawn a bike before? Let's see. Michelle says her boyfriend rides a dirt bike like that. I know a lot of people are dirt bike fans. Did you know I've never ridden a dirt bike? Oh man, one of these days I need to do that. I have a few friends that would be shocked if they heard that. They'd force me to do it. Alright, let's see here. Let's draw the front. Let's see, where should we go? I think we need a line about like this. Okay, that's a little weird of a line. Kind of looks like a slice of bread, but let me show you in orange what I did. There's our line like that. It goes up, kicks out like that, straight over, and then there's a bump there, and a line there. So you know how a slice of bread looks like this, and then it has a top like that? Well, it's a little bit like that. So just think about that. Maybe that'll help you draw that line. Alright. Give you a second to draw that one. See it coming together here. Hey, thanks for all the retweets and everything on Twitter if you're watching there. A lot of people watching on Facebook too, I see. Much appreciated that. Devin wants to know if we have show and tell. We're going to save show and tell for the end of the week, this week, Devin. Thank you all out there for watching. All right, I'm going to fill this in black while you're finishing yours up, and we will get back to it. All right. Okay. Next, we need the seat. So the seat is just going to meet this front part, and it's going to come back to the tail like that. Nice cushiony seat for a rider. Now in racing, you know, we're not totally worried about the comfort of the riders, but we do need to keep them a little bit comfortable, right? I mean, we give them a nice soft seat here. I know this doesn't look like much of a bike yet, but trust me, we're building the chassis and the frame first, and then we'll put the wheels on at the end, okay? All right, I like how this is looking though. I'm going to bring that engine up just a little bit. Kind of like the number 6. See, if we're drawing the number 6, it would kind of loop around like this. Well, that's something very similar that's happening with our engine, actually. Look at that. It's almost got the number 6 in there. So just draw your own angled little version of the number 6. All right. Coming together. Looking good. Okay, now bikes, you know, they have handlebars, right? Handlebars is where you rev the engine, the motor I should say, not the engine. Alright, let's put the little mud guard out here. It's a little bit like the front, or excuse me, like the rear tail here, but coming out the front like this. Very, very nice. Alright. Doing that area up there. Very cool. Now, I'm going to put the number plate right there. So this bike's going to be sitting on a stand, getting ready to be worked on after a run. Maybe in the coming days we'll do one that's in the air, way up high. We'll probably draw one in the air in the background though. So get ready for that. It'll be a lot more simple. So the number plate is basically just a rectangle. Just draw some rectangular lines up there. Make a little wider bit of a square. And then if you tell on our picture here, we've got our 2 bars coming down to meet the front wheel. I really should have studied my terminology here on all these different parts and pieces, but hey, we're doing our best. I'm just an artist. I'm not an engineer. Okay, so we're going to draw one line coming down like this. It's going to go just down further than the motor and make it a bar. So make it have two sides like that. And then draw another one and stop it about halfway. Okay? Halfway as long as the other bar. Alright? I'm going to read some more comments while you're catching up. We're having fun out there. Get a little rain today here in North Carolina. Where are you watching from? We've had people from all over the country watch this show. Africa, Canada, the UK, Germany, Australia, and of course all over the United States as well. Let's see. Who's out there watching? Got people in Ohio like Patricia. Oh yeah, we're having fun. Okay, let's get back to it here. Let me draw the handlebars now. Let me look at these handlebars and see what's going on with them. Okay, so right at the top of the number plate we have another rectangle, and then we have the two handlebars coming out with the brakes, some other switches. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. Alright, so I'm going to draw another little rectangle up top. And then I'm going to draw a line for our handlebar. Now we want to kind of make it about as straight as we can, and then we'll fill it in. So just draw a guideline, and then start to make that line a little thicker and thicker and thicker. Whatever drawing utensil you're using will work just fine for that. And then let's see, we can add the brakes. The brakes are just going to be a little kick out like that. Little wings coming off the handlebars. See that? Doesn't have to be perfect. Just a little kick out like that. You can even add a little switch box right up here. Whatever you need to. Alright, we are almost done with this chassis, aren't we? The frame's pretty much together. Alright. So we need another bar coming off the back to go to the rear. And that is going to go about like this. Okay, so two lines to make a bar, and you're going to stop them pretty much in line with this rear exhaust right there. So if there was a line there, that's about where you'd stop that line. Okay, if that helps you visualize to draw a line, feel free. You might want to erase it later. But that told me just how far back I need to draw that. Alright, looking good? Yeah, I think so. Alright, let's finish off some body work here. So we're going to draw a body work. We're going to follow this same line of the exhaust, and then we're going to cut it back up to the tail. Okay? There we go. So we have our seat. I'm going to fill the seat in with a little bit of gray so you can see what's going on, which one's the seat and which one's the body. You don't have to mimic this. You can color this in later. I just want to do it so you see what's going on. Alright. If we look inside the engine, we're not going to get too detailed, but I see a circle. I see some little rectangles in there, some more lines. So we're just going to do our best and mimic some of the shapes inside of this motor. So I remember I saw a circle like that. I saw some rectangles over here. I'm not drawing a mechanical diagram here. I'm just making it look good. I saw some circles over here. We had some lines going up here, probably some tubing to run some fluids up there. So just like that, it's all going to come together. You don't have to do it perfect unless that's your favorite thing to do. Some people really like drawing technical things, like all the parts and pieces of a motor or the cars, and that's cool. If you want to do that, you should do it. Did you know that's a job that a lot of people have, illustrators? They'll design the manuals to assemble things, instructions for telling other people how to do things. So those are There's a lot of different ways to draw. You don't just have to do creative, expressive drawings. You could do more technical drawings if that's something that you like. Maybe you're into math a little more than you are into art. There's a lot of ways to make drawing work in everyday life. Okay, let's move on to those wheels because, you know, how many wheels does a motocross bike have? 2, right? Race cars we've been drawing 4, but we're still going to take the same method to draw a wheel. Now the rear wheel is perfectly centered. We're looking at it straight on, right? The front wheel, we're not. It's turned a little bit, so we have to draw an oval up there. But let's start with the rear wheel, since that's going to be a little easier, I think. Okay, we're at the back here. We want to draw what will essentially be the brakes. So I'm going to draw a circle right here, and then a little bigger circle right here, just to kind of frame where we're going to be drawing this wheel and tire. All right. So the method I've always been teaching is to draw the dots. You ever done the dot method? I know Devin's out there, Jack's out there, they've been watching. They know how to do that. Well, today we're going to try it again. And so the top of the wheel is going to be right about here. Okay? So I lined it about up with the brake. And the bottom one, you want to go the same distance. So if I took my finger and I measured how far they are, I want to do about the same distance down, which is about right there. Okay? So see? I just use my finger as a little ruler. And I make them about the same distance apart. Got that? All right. Now, let's see. We want the right side is actually going to show up in the middle of this bar. We'll draw the wheel and tire behind it. But you can use the same finger method and just draw the dot about that far back. So I'm using my finger to measure. You can also use your pencil or your pen. You can pick a spot. Sometimes with pencils, if you push your fingernail into the pencil, it can make a little dent. That makes a good measuring tool as well. So if you just put the tip at the center and then put a little dent, then you draw a dot on every angle, every corner of the 4 corners to make your wheel. Okay? So my dot's actually supposed to be about out there. See, I'm measuring? Okay. Now, what do? You just connect the dots with curved lines like this. So I'm going to start at the bottom and go over to the left, kind of like a banana shape. Then bring the left up to the top. Then the top over to the right. Now remember, don't draw in front of your line. Try to draw behind it. There you go. Stop at the line. And then the same kind of thing right there. Now it doesn't matter if your line is like mine and it's a little bit sketchy and jagged. That's really okay. Just like that. These tires on these dirt bikes have so many bumps and grooves in them so they can grab that dirt and spin it out. There we go. Looking pretty good. Now we have a couple more circles to draw in there. You can use the dot method again, or you can just kind of trace and follow the line the best you can. About like that. So that's going to be our tire. You catch up there and I'm going to read a few more comments, see how people are doing with these wheels. These might be some of the toughest wheels we've had to draw in this whole time that we've been doing these shows. So stick with it, do your best. We'll keep trying on here. I'm going to see how the comments are going out here, see how y'all are doing. Looks like you're doing pretty good. Lots of people watching. I appreciate that. Gotta get ready for that front tire now. It's gonna be a little trickier because it's gonna be an oval. It's not gonna be a perfect circle. Right. Let's see here. Who's out there? Chipper's in South Carolina. Daniel's in Columbia. There's Jack still there. All right, let's see here. Looking pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah. Thought you were going to draw a race car today, didn't you? We need one more circle in there. I know, it's challenging. These dirt bikes, they look simple, but there's still a lot to them. So I'm drawing another circle in there. And look how sketchy mine looks. It's okay if it's not perfect. If you need a perfect one, you might need a tool that draws a perfect circle. But for me, I'm just sketching it in there. Looking pretty good. Oh yeah. All right. All right, let's move on to the front here. The front's going to be a little more challenging. The dot method still works, but it's going to be more challenging. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an oval right there and draw a little edge to it like that. Okay? It kind of looks like a tennis ball, doesn't it? So the dot method is still going to work. We're going to draw a dot about up here, about the same height as our rear one, about up there. But we're going to make it skinnier. So first measure the top one to the middle and then draw the same one, the same length down here. Okay? They're going at an angle. They're following a line like this. See that? They're on that line. Very nice. I'll zoom in there so you can see that. And then I want you to draw one on this line. Okay, so we have like a plus sign in there and it's angled. So draw a dot over here and a dot over there. And that's going to give us the lines we need for our oval because it's turned, the tire's turned, the wheel's turned. So the same method, we just have to connect the dots. So make that turn start a little sooner and then go up here and try to stay behind the bar. Connect that dot and you can go in front of the bar on this side. Connect that dot. Don't worry if it's not perfect. You know, just like the race cars, what's our motto here with drawing racing bikes? It's our story, right? We can do whatever we want. We can tell whatever story we want. Let's say that you're just not very good at drawing these front tires yet. That's okay. Maybe it's practice. It doesn't mean you're good or bad at it. It just means that you're at a certain point in your life where you're practicing and you haven't quite gotten it where you want it to be. For example, maybe your oval looks something like this. Oh man. Maybe it looks something like this. Maybe you're just not there yet. Well, what can we do with that? Well, maybe your bike just got into a wreck and it just got into the pits and the crew's getting the new wheel out and they're going to come in, they're going to take this one off and put the new one on. So it doesn't mean your drawing's bad if you drew one like that. It just means that you're telling a different story than me. Does that make sense? So don't give up. Just try your best. All right. Just like the front, we're going to need 3 lines here. We're going to need a tire line. We already have one of them. We're going to need 2 more on the inside. Tire line like this. And then a wheel line. It's a little skinnier going inside like that. This one's turned, so it is more of an oval than it is a circle. And because it's turned, it means we can see more of the tread. You see how we can see many more bumps? We want to draw that. On the rear, we can't see as many bumps because we're seeing a side view. So we're going to draw those front tires a little wider, like this. Just the front of it is going to go a little wider, like that. All right. For those bumps, I just like to draw some dots in a line, like that. Just draw some dots. Make them look like bumps there. Draw them on the outside of the line too. See how they're making, just these dots make it look like you have the grooves of that tread really looking good. Little circles. Just like that. And I'll draw some in the middle as well. Just adding dots in there. Try to do them in a line, kind of like this. Dots in a line following your wheel. Okay? There you go. Looking pretty good. I'm going to put some on the back too. Why do you think they have these grooves and treads on these bikes? I think it's so that the tire digs into the dirt a lot easier, don't you? We don't need those in the NASCAR tires, thankfully. Thankfully. You can also do them on the back. Now if you're going to do them on the back, only do them on the outer edge of your wheel. like that. Just drawing dots around the whole tire. Yeah, this is going to be cool, isn't it? This is going to be a pretty neat drawing. I like this. Again, this is my first time drawing a motocross bike like this, so I'm kind of learning with you, practicing as we go. There you go. So now your tires, well, they look mean. They look ready, like they're ready to tear some dirt up. Okay, we've pretty much got our bike done, don't we? I really like how that's looking. So at this point, you can choose to draw it on the ground, or you can draw it up in the air, and maybe the rider's unfortunately fallen off or something. I'm not going to draw a rider today because that's a whole other lesson to draw a person. But we'll do that a little later, okay? Maybe later in the week we'll do that. The only other decision you have to make is what your background's going to be. And I am going to go with a dark background, and I'm going to make some spikes in here. If you are going to do a really dark background, you might make your spikes white or gray because they're actually silver. So today, for me, just some spokes. They're not actually spikes. I should say spokes, right? For our spokes in our wheel, we are going to I'm going to just draw some black lines here. So what I want you to do, if you want to be accurate, is you draw 3 lines at a time like this. Okay? 3 lines at a time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then you go in between those and draw 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Alright. Kind of like drawing the sun. And then go in between those and draw a couple more and overlap them a bit. Like that. Like that. Like that. Just overlap them quite a bit. It's not exactly like a sun. It's a little different. But it's going to make it look a little more realistic, I think. There we go. We're just drawing some lines in there. Alright, a little harder up here, but just do your best to do 3 or 4 in a row and then overlap them just a little bit. Alright, and then go in between those and do 4. I know I started with 3, but I decided to start actually adding 4 in there. There we go. So now you have your spokes in the wheel. Looking pretty good. Alright. Daniel's asking about where do you get the Pinewood Derby cars. Well, you can get it at a home improvement store like Menards or some of the other home improvement stores near you. That's where we got those Pinewood Derbies. I think ordering online is probably a good option too. You can find them online. Ask your parents out there. Alright, yeah, Lynn's out there. She loves dirt bikes and street bikes and cruisers. Thanks, Lynn. Alright, well, I think we have the basics of our bike done. This is the point where you can turn this into any color bike you want, tell in any store you want, but I am going to draw our Joe Gibbs Racing motocross bikes. Did you know that we have bikes like this? Yeah. So there's the background. One thing I'm missing is the stand. I have to put the stand in there because mine is just in the pits. It's in the garage area, just getting worked on. So here's a little stand. It's basically the letter A. See that? You can draw a letter A, you can draw a stand. Just like that. It's got some bars running across there to hold it in place. And I'm going to draw a little mound of dirt here because that stand is stuck in the dirt. And I'm going to draw the number 17. It's one of our numbers in motocross. Anybody out there know who our riders are for motocross? Can you put it in the comments? There you go. There's one there. And there's a number back here. Number 17, one of the easiest numbers to draw, thankfully. Let's make it bold like there. Thick numbers. Okay. So in the background, I'm going to draw one of the jumps. And it's going to look like this. It's going to go up. It's It's exaggerated jump. They aren't this big, but I'm going to make it look big. And then in the shadow, in the back, I'm going to draw another bump over here. I'm going to draw a bike in the air behind him. He's going to be up here. So I'm just going to draw a circle and a circle like that up in the sky. And then we'll just do something similar. We'll draw the letter like a check mark like this. See that check mark? And we'll draw a line up like that. And a line back like this. We're just kind of sketching him in there. Drawing a check mark. Drawing a bike up in the air. Like this. I'm going to shade it in black because I'm not really drawing the detail. It's just in the background. Now the person's head is there. And their body's there. And their arms are there. See that? Just sketch him up there. He's moving through the air. We might even draw some dirt flying off the back. Maybe this is our teammate doing a test run. Some dirt flying off the back. There we go. Alright, are you ready to color? Let's wrap this up and do some coloring. Alright. Daniel's asking about the email. Yep, do the email webmaster, WEBMASTER at JoeGibbsRacing.com for Freddie. Alright. Let's color it in. We're going to need yellow. We tried yellow yesterday with that Menards car of Brandon Jones. We're bringing it back today. Yellow. Get your yellows out. And we're going to draw some yellow. The front nose cone is going to be a yellow. I like to choose a different page for my colors here. The front nose area is yellow. There we go. That top rectangle's yellow. There we go. Parts of the front bars here are yellow. Get down into here by the 6, that's yellow. This part's going to be yellow, then we'll go over it with some blue. And then we have a line of yellow right here. And a line of yellow down there. So we're just adding yellow in, making it look good. I'm going to make this spike a little yellow there. Look at there. Alright. Next I'm going to get my blue. It's kind of a middle blue like this. And I'm going to add a blue stripe right here. And a blue stripe back behind the number over here. Then I'm going to get a darker blue. And I'm going to do a second stripe right about there. And actually, this back stripe is darker. I'm going to make that a little bit darker. Only one blue stripe in the back. And there's some blue up here. Really little bit of blue in there. We're just kind of filling it in. Having fun here. Yeah, looking good. All right. Now we need gray. The exhaust section is gray. The engine, the motor, I keep calling it an engine. I know it's a motor, but the motor here is gray. We'll go back in and you can change it with some lighter and darker grays here a little later. Like this. We'll just pick a darker gray and make that circle a little darker. Make some of these interior sections a little darker. Just give it some personality in there. Some multiple colors of gray in there. Some shine. Have it some shine. Oh yeah. Give it some shine. There we go. Give it a little darker there. A little darker there. Add some gray in the brakes and in the front. Alright. Now I missed some yellow. I'm going to choose a little bit of a bronzy yellow, which is kind of a yellow with some brown in it for these wheels back here. Did you know we make a lot of the parts for our JGRMX bikes in-house at our race shop? Lots of cool metals that we work with. Lots of people that a lot smarter than me, knowing what's going on with making these metals and making them so they don't break, helping us win these races. I'm going to add a couple little more gray, not gray, but yellowish tinges in there. Look at that. Alright, I forgot the gray tires, so let's do that. Fill in some gray on those tires. I think this is looking pretty good, don't you? I like this a lot. There we go. If that gray on the tire covers up your dots and your grooves too much, go back into it or erase into it with a little bit of a lighter gray. Or if you need to start with a lighter gray, go ahead and do that. Let's see here. I'm going to add some more dots in there. See? Just kind of lightening up that gray a little bit. Even tires are not perfect black. They've got some shades in there. Alright. Look how good that's looking. A lot of this back here is white on this cone on the back. There is a little bit of a red sponsor stripe right back here, so I'll put that in there. But really, we've got most of it done here. You can also write Suzuki if you want to. That's an S-U-Z-U-K-I right there, Suzuki. That's S-U-Z-U-K-I right in there. Okay. I didn't spell it perfectly. I'm just kind of doing some little scribbles in there so people know what it says. Alright, stand's going to stay kind of a white. Now we need some dirt colors, don't we? That's right. I'm going to erase my picture up here because I'm done with that. Don't need that anymore. It really helped me. Helped me draw a perfect, well not perfect, but perfect to me kind of bike. Got that erased. We don't want our rider here to run into the picture, right? Makes it look like a billboard or something. So now I'm going to pick some brown for our dirt. Pick a big brush here. I'm going to fill in this brown mound up here. That brown is really going to help our yellow pop off the page too. I really like what's happening with that. And our white at the back. We don't want to fill in that tail piece, do we? We want to keep that white. There we go. Sometimes they race indoors, sometimes they race outdoors, so you can make this whatever option, whatever theme you want. I'm going to go a little lighter in my brown around the bike itself, I don't want to take too much away from our bike. I want it to stand off the page, so I'm just going to do a light brown around our bike in the foreground. You know the difference between a foreground and a background, right? The foreground is closer to you and the background is in the back. So the foreground is the dirt that the bike is sitting on, and the background is the dirt that the racetrack is, where that rider's doing a jump back there. So I'm just doing some sketchy lines here. We do need a shadow still, just like a car. A shadow is really going to help this bike attach to the ground and feel more real. We also have to fill in between the tire spokes, the wheel spokes. That's why I had you do black, and now you can do a light gray, and you can just go in there and you can cover over them, and it should not erase your spikes when you do that because you're covering over black, so you should be able to color in behind them. Very nice. Drawing a bike sitting still is a lot different than drawing it up in the air, though. I'll tell you that. We'll try that a little later. Now I'm going to get a darker brown here, and I'm just going to start sketching in a shadow. The shadow, I just want you to draw it basically where the tire is for now, like this. And you can draw a little thin line under the stand like that. There you go. And just like that, we're coming together. I'm going to add a blue sky today. My bike's racing outdoors. We actually have our own practice facility with Joe Gibbs Racing that we can practice at. And I'm going to say that's where this bike is right now. They're practicing. So we'll just draw some lines up here like this. There we go. There we go. And just like that, our picture is pretty much done. Can you believe that? Wow, I like it. I like it a lot. That's my first dirt bike drawing. And there you go. How'd yours turn out? I bet it did pretty good. I'd like you to please post it in the comments so I can see it, or email it to me. I'm going to sign my work here. Boris 2020. And we're going to call it a day. I hope you have a great day. I'm going to go get some lunch. How about you? Thanks for watching. Again, this is Boris, where we draw race cars and sometimes dirt bikes, just like that. I'll catch you later. Every weekday at noon Eastern Time, right here. Or you can go to YouTube and find all of our old episodes to find drawings that we've done in the past. Thanks again. Thank you, Jack. I'm glad you liked that. Everybody have a good day.